What's up, everybody? We are here with another episode of Comics Unleashed on Saturday night. Thank you for joining us. You will see some familiar faces and some different faces tonight. So I'm going to be running the show because we have two guests and somebody that does not know how to run the computer stuff.
Hey, that's not what I was brought on here for. Let's not kid ourselves. It was not
so Sal is still on double secret probation. He is still on vacation. Richard is here and is in the chat as well because he is all things to all people in all places. Right. Mobius coming in from London. Thank you. Thank you.
Look at that.
Mr. Keith, thank you for joining us tonight. So we got everyone's popping in.
Let me text Chris so it can really be a party.
So yep, Sal is finishing up his family vacation. Jamie is in seclusion in the Jamie cave, trying to catch the Joker, aka the Toy Massacrer, aka
that's
Sonny.
right. They had a date, didn't they?
Yeah. So he may pop up in the chat. We'll
if
see.
Jamie dismembered, we know Sonny did it.
So, anyways, as always, I'm Dan. I will be your host tonight. I will be your guide through this comic experience. And to my right, left, I don't know, it depends on how you have your screen. We got the one, the only, Uncle Gary. Up here in the corner, we got Richard, Superfan Westphal, who does not have his own channel, but has will pop up on everyone else's. And above me, also a special guest, Derek from Uncanny Derek Comics.
Hello.
Thank you all for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us on.
Nice.
Yeah. It's funny, don't crack the screen. Our TV died, so my wife bought a new one, and when I went to install it, took it out of the box, and the entire screen is shattered.
Perfect.
So maybe someone tried to high five that too.
Hello.
Oh, thank you for joining us. Yes, looking forward to it as well. So as always, we'll be going through our new issues we picked up this week. We will be showing any recent back issues that we picked up. We got Richard and Uncanny Derek on the screen and
look how they can multitask. I can barely just appear here. They can appear here and do stuff online. I'm amazed. So there you go.
So we will again, new issues, back issues, a Uncle Gary showcase. You want to give us a secret clue word for tonight?
It's going to be a continuation of last week because that stuff was so good. So we're going to have some more Dauntless and Daring.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get, as Jamie likes to say, get the business out of the way. I am Dan. You could find me in my basement, but if you do, I will call the police because why the hell are you in my basement? But you can find me online at Dan Kelly Art on
Dan
Instagram.
Kelly Art, right there.
And
look at Richard. Richard has one too. Look at that. Dan Kelly Art. Look at that yellow label. That means he is genuine, certified, bona fide, recognized by CGC as an artiste. He gets you a Dan Kelly yellow label. There you go.
Show you the sketch cover that I am currently working on. I will make myself big screen for a moment. This now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And his Golden Age book is in the rack.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Currently has 13 characters on it that I'm working on.
It just gets better and better. Look at that.
Right.
As you can see, I did add Johnny Thunder in the back there, poking his goofy head out. Figure I'll probably add Doll Man on here somewhere.
You know where he should be.
Yeah, and that's what everybody says.
Wonder Woman's legs.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll have them like hanging out.
Don't ruin the cleavage. Don't obscure the cleavage. No.
Anyway,
keep the window open.
That's right. Keep that window open.
And I was telling my buddy when I showed it to him at our fantasy football draft today, I said, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with this, because I have very little interest in keeping all the stuff I draw. I want it to go out and go to people, and I don't generally charge much sketch cover wise, compared to what other people do, because I'm some nobody. But I was like, the amount of work that I put into this and the amount of characters on it, like, if I were to charge that based on the work that I put into it, would be something nobody would pay, because it'd be like, who the hell are you and why are you charging?
That's right. I mean, that's exactly why when you go to a con, you're paying all that and you're just getting one character.
So we will see. Maybe I'll just give it away to someone. I don't know. Anyways, this guy beside me, I mean, he doesn't need an introduction, but we're going to give it to him anyways. The man, the myth, the legend, the Ric Flair of comics, the curator of the library of comics, the guy that is so important in our community that they named Superman's robot after him in the new movie.
That was quite an honor. I appreciate that from Alan Tudyk, and James Gunn to endorse that. So thank you very much to them. All right, listen, I appreciate you tuning in and watching. If you want to catch me at Comic Logic. That is Loudoun County, Virginia's only comic book store. And if you're in the Northern Virginia area, please stop in and see us. If you come in on Wednesdays, you get an extra special treat. You'll see me. You'll see Mighty Mike Harbor. You'll see Rob Kalin. We'll see Slinging Books. We're getting that 4-color ink, and it gets right in here. We inject it right in here. I've told you once, told you twice, told you a million times. Reading comic books make you strong, because you start out with one book. Next thing you know, you're lifting a stack of books. Next thing you know, it's short boxes. Then it's long boxes. You're stacking them all the way up. Then you're stacking them over here. Next thing you know, baby, you are jacked and you are packed. Reading comic books make you strong. Do some push-ups too. That helps. There you go. So, always told you, read comic books. Strong, baby. Also, this coming Wednesday at Comic Logic, we have a special treat. We have the one, the only Philip Kennedy Johnson will be signing books for us, for you, at our store from 11 to 2 this Wednesday, September 3rd, celebrating the release of his new book, Superman, The House of L. He will be signing that book and any other book you put in front of him. Even if it's not his book, he'll probably sign it for you. But he's a great guy, friend of the shop, friend of mine.
Put your checkbook in front of him.
Well, you know what? If you can get his checkbook, maybe he would. I'll be giving up his checkbook. But there you go. Get a dinner bill or something and let him sign that. But Philip Kennedy Johnson, good guy. Come meet him. Come say hi, and you will not be sorry you did. So, and pick up his new book, because anything he touches is amazing. As those of you who've been reading the Hulk book, no, and Hell Hunters, no, and all his other, his run on Action was phenomenal. He's on a Batman and Robin book, and his Fellspire Chronicles: The Last God is an amazing original graphic novel that he has done. So we should have some of those there too. So come see him. Also,
and he has the new. They just released the omnibus for his.
Yeah, that action run was incredible too. So great run. So also let's give some love to the site being run right here by Mr. Dan Kelly right now, Comic Character of the Week, of the Day. I'm sorry. That site was founded by the Archduke Kevin, who it's the reason we all became acquainted. So it's his fault. Any grievances you have that we're acquainted, it's Kevin's fault. But it is a great site. You get a Comic Character of the Day. Dan is running that. Dan's supplying that right now. You get a great random panel of the day. The more salacious, the better. You're also getting a great question of the day. And Talking Geek is supplying a fantastic cover of the day that corresponds usually with the character of the day. So what's not to like? Check it out. So that being said, let's kick it up there to Richard. Dan said Richard doesn't have a show. Richard can have a show because Richard is such a valuable contributor to every other daggone show out here that's worth watching. All of us would be just devastated if Richard had his own show and could not be a part of our show. So we need to spread as much Richard as we can around the community, because he is an invaluable asset. He has been a wonderful spokesman and promoter of this great online comic community. And I tell you what, we are lucky to have him in the chat, and even more so honored to have the man himself in person. Thank you for showing up. And look, this is multiple occasions. So now when he's here, he did this to himself. So he did this to himself.
I didn't learn my lesson the first time.
That's right. If he didn't learn his lesson the first time, every other appearance is on him, and we're damn lucky to have him. There's Richard, the man.
And if you want to get extra jacked with comics, get him in PSA.
Richard, keeper of the Brown
Lantern. That's right. He's got a Brown Lantern ring and a Brown Lantern book that nobody has that combination. Look at that. Look at that fresh steamer in that Brown Lantern ring. Chris Swartzlander, you are a genius, my friend.
You know what Chris has got to make now? If he can make a little bit bigger stuff, he's got to make the Brown Lantern battery. You got to have the battery.
Which has got to be a commode, right? It's got to be a commode, the Brown Lantern battery.
It's got to be like an old school outhouse, and where they have the little like moon carved in it. That's where you would put the ring to charge it.
There you go. And so Chris is probably in the lab right now. I've told you I'm scared because he's starting to make people. So there you go.
Some might say giving birth to Marines.
Please don't. So Richard, thank you for being with us again, my friend. You always grace our presence when you're here.
And for the first time on the show, to my right,
that away. He's that away.
Is Uncanny Derek. Uncanny Derek has been new to the comic book community. Around a year, Derek.
Yeah, a year and a half, I think.
Yeah, year and a half. And he is also nominated for some CBCA awards.
Oh, look at all this royalty in here. Awesome.
I'm up against the Codex station for most innovative content.
Well, when you beat us, just be humble.
So thank you both for joining us. Derek, why don't you tell people about you? You got the YouTube, you got the Instagram. Why don't you tell people about what you do, what kind of content you're putting up, and why they should be checking you out?
Thanks, and thank you very much for having me.
They should be checking him out because he's such a good-looking fella. That's why they should be checking him out.
Oh, you. I have YouTube and Instagram, Uncanny Derek Comics, and the channel started because I had a child just almost 2 years ago, but I wanted to still share my hobby because if you have children, you know that it's hard to get out of the house a lot. So did the YouTube channel, and it just kind of got a life of its own. And so I collect predominantly Uncanny X-Men. I'm almost done collecting the run. 1 to 544, nice. Like that whole run.
How are you? How close are you?
I probably, including the reprints, like the 67 to 93. I am probably, I think I need like 30 some odd books now. I have 90 to 544 done. So
that is awesome. The reprints, when I was completing my run, they were such a pain in the ass because I'm paying for the damn reprints. Yeah. And for so long, those things were dirt cheap. And then they started to elevate, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, you got to be kidding me. So
it drives me up the wall because I have this already, but I'm now paying more money for it.
Exactly, but
at least on Classic X-Men, you got the reprints, you got the new cover, but at least on Classic X-Men, you got the new little bonus story on the back. You got that awesome John Bolton cover that would be on the back cover.
Yeah, so I do that, and then the channel, I do a handful of different essay videos, and that's really the gist of what I do. So I just enjoy talking about the hobby. It's a fun hobby. And meeting new people, being on new channels. I'm so surprised of how close-knit the community is and how open and eager everybody is to hang out with one another and just share stories and share books. And there's always something new to learn in this hobby. So
close-knit is such a better way than saying inbred.
Well, yeah, you're right. It is good. Like, time for sports talk.
Yeah, college.
So we had my fantasy
this weekend. Pam, I know you're excited.
I had the first of my fantasy football drafts today. I got 2 Ravens. I got Zay Flowers, and I got the kicker Tyler Loop. So
Very good.
there we go.
Other things about Derek is he's also part of Colossus Collector, a friend of the channel's, the Council of X,
Yes.
and he's been on Ryan's channel and shows up on other people's channels as well. And he's got great content.
Now-
He does.
He and Ryan have the
cons.
north of the border thing going, don't they?
Yeah, we're about 40 minutes away from each other.
Nice.
Now I saw, I've been, talking with him, the Colossus jam piece that he's started, where he got the first artist to add to it,
Go big or
Art
go home.
Adams, with that classic. It's that classic Art Adams Colossus drawing, and he redrew it, but instead of standing on a rock, he's got like his foot on Juggernaut's helmet, and it just looks gorgeous. And there's, he's got it like blocked out where the other Colossuses are going to go. And I was like, man, that looks gorgeous. When that's finished, it's going to be phenomenal.
I really enjoyed meeting him, even though it was briefly. I enjoyed meeting him in Carolina. So, it was pretty cool to meet Ryan in person. I also met Lettuce when I went to Carolina. So I mean, that was that was pretty awesome to meet folks in person. We see them on the screen, but
Yeah.
So if you guys ever get to Baltimore, we're there every year.
And it'd be funny if you come to Baltimore, you follow this guy around. He'll just be walking down an aisle looking at stuff, and you'll see random people walk by.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Gary! They're like, who's that? And he's like, oh yeah, that's blah blah blah. Every stand he goes up to, they're like, oh, what's up? Like they all know him. Like some of them will say, like, hey, I got this, I got this box for you to check it out. I know this is
That's
stuff
right.
you like.
There's usually a trade for cash for comics that follow me. I give you cash, you give me comics, so it works out. Trade paper for paper.
Hey, you want a deal? You want a deal too?
I
This is
can
the
get you a
man to
good
find
deal.
it for
I
you.
mean, I get good deals because I send people to folks that will give them good deals. So it works out. It's the circle of life.
And while you're checking out Gary, Richard, and Derek, maybe me, who knows, check us out online at thecodexstation.com. Jamie says your one-stop shop for all codex. You can meet the team, links to merch. He says there's new t-shirts coming soon. I've sent him some artwork for some new ones, hopefully soon, hopefully before Baltimore, so I can sport a fresh codex shirt there. We'll see. Links to all the what is it?
Oh, the socials?
What is it?
Look.
Yeah.
The two fellas up there, they're probably not as infected as Dan and I are. But if you've been around the Codex station, most of us, we're infected. We're 100% absolutely positively dripping with all the socials. And what we would...
And Valprex isn't going to help.
That's right. Penicillin. We are penicillin resistant, baby. So what we would like to do more than anything is to give it to you, baby. Hit that button.
And let's go ahead and mention it soon too. Richard kind of said it. The CBC Awards going on right now. We have been fortunate enough to make the finals in 5 categories, which is an amazing honor for us. Richard is someone that helps him out. You can check that out at the CBC Awards. You vote for us. Vote for our man Derek up here too. I know it's going to be tough when we're
maybe we'll tie, and that'll be as great as it gets.
Absolutely.
But like other friends of the station on there, Lettuce, Hagen from Lettuce Comics, Andy's one of the hosts of it. Brandon from Mon Comics, Colossus Collectors on there. I mean, many friends of the station, many other fantastic channels that are on there. Please go and check it out. Give us a vote. If there's a category we're in that you think we deserve to win, give us a vote. If there's a category we're in and you're like, I like these guys, but I like this other station a little more for this, you know what? You're not going to hurt our feelings. Go vote for them because this is for the community. This is to honor everybody and celebrate everybody that is part of this amazing community. So vote for us, vote for others, whoever you think is deserving to win. I'll throw some screen caps up because I only have them for us, but best live stream, you know what? We're on there against some pretty great channels like Comic Pop. That guy's got 120,000 subscribers.
He doesn't need any votes.
Yeah, we're against him. Yeah, but best informative content. You got us. You got Uncanny Derek.
Hey, I know those guys.
Richard, do they allow ties in
I'm
CBC?
not sure if it's happened yet. We had ties.
We can be the first.
Oh, we'll see. Maybe this is, best live stream. You got us, and you got your Council of Comics, Spidey's Outback. You got lots of great stuff. Biggie Shaq's on there. Most entertaining content. Hey, you got us as well, and some of the same guys. And for best host, Sal the Slab Guy, which is funny because as soon as they announced it, he's like, "Oh, I'm nominated for best host. Cool. I'm gonna dip out for a week on vacation," because that's what a baller he is.
Listen, Dan said that if you think we're deserving, vote for us. I'll pander, even if you don't think we're deserving. I'll take I'd be happy with it. Just saying.
I mean, I think it'd be great to win every category. I'm not gonna lie. It would be fantastic if we won. Just if like we were able to pull away one and be like, "Hey, that would be great."
And Pam, one sports note, Pam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We do appreciate. I really appreciate Jerry Jones and what he's done for the Dallas Cowboys. Being a lifelong Washington Redskin, Washington Commander fan, I'm thrilled with his general manager acumen. Trading Micah, nice job, way to go. That dude averages 2.5 sacks against us every time we play him, and to not play him twice a year. Good job, Jerry. Thank you. How about them Cowboys?
Oh man, that game when the Packers play the Cowboys is gonna be lit.
We must see TV. I can't wait.
I'll say this too. I was getting ready to draft the running back for Washington today, and it got taken a couple picks before I was going to take him, which pissed me off. A couple guys I was going to draft. There was a guy, buddy Eldon, sitting beside me who twice, literally, I'm like, all right, this next round, I'm going to take Bo Nix in this round, and then I hear Bo Nix. God damn it, he did it to me a couple times. Pissed me off.
Ryan, is in the chat.
But a lot of Washington players that went. We'll see. I got another draft tomorrow. We will see how that goes. But
I know Pam's got her draft board going.
What?
Pam's got her draft board going. Yeah.
Pam is Pam's double. She's watching us while she's doing 18 fantasy football drafts right at this moment.
I knew it.
And we got
my buddy Tommy, who's in the league, is a Washington fan, and our league, if you come in last place, you have.
There we go. That's what I was waiting for. Look at the mirrors.
Oh, next star.
There we go. Look at that. Awesome. That is the best.
It's
the best accessory we have.
He just had a new son a couple days ago. So he messaged. He's like, "Oh, I'm not going to be at the draft. We just had a baby." I went, "Yes, I know. Congratulations. I'm very happy for you. Your punishment for losing last year is you have to name your son Jerry Jones."
Oh man, that's not right. Not right.
You guys ready to kick this off? You got some comics to show? We can
Let's do
show
it.
some books, talk about some books, have a good time.
All encompassing.
Yes. So we are going to play the little short opener, and then we're going to hop into it. So we'll be back in just a second.
All right.
Welcome to the Codex Station Comics Unleashed for Saturday night with special guest stars Richard Westphal, Uncanny Derek Comics. Thank you guys again so much for joining us tonight. We hope that you are ready to have a good time. And like we said, like Gary said, Richard, you've been here before, so it's your fault this time. Derek, it's your first time, so we can't blame you yet.
So we apologize in advance.
Yes.
I'm a Canadian. I'm used to apologies, believe me.
So, you guys ready to show off some books, talk about some comics? Anybody have a preference? Want to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
Mine's pretty short. Didn't pick up a lot.
There we go.
Had to pick up crypto, even though I'm a crazy cat guy. Read through it. Seemed like a really interesting read. It's people not really treating crypto right, and hopefully he gets some revenge. Haven't had a chance to read it, but anything that has cat or dog on it, I'm getting it.
Yes, smash that thumbs up.
Yes.
I'm not sure if this is this week's or not, but while I was there, I picked this up.
Yep, that was this week.
Yeah, number 4. I'll explain later why I got this one, but just open it up and there's The Thing versus Juggernaut, and underrated battle. I know Juggernaut versus Colossus is always a classic, but Thing versus Juggernaut is also great battles.
I'm a fan of Jugs. Love it.
Yep.
Did you read the one that came out last week, the Marvel
Doom.
All Against one? Where it was just the whole book, it was Ed McGuinness that drew it, and the whole book was splash pages, and it was just the Thing fighting like evil robot versions of all these characters from Marvel.
No, I'm probably going to go back since this is issue 4. It looked very interesting. I'm probably going to go back and get the rest of them.
The first 3 issues have been really fun.
Yeah,
and
it looks fun.
That Marvel All Against one was very fun too. Like I said, it's just tune out, have fun, see some awesome Ed McGuinness splash pages of Thing fighting Hulk and the Avengers and the other Fantastic Four and everybody.
Very much like the hardcover book by Cho and Chen, the Veracity Trap that I just got a couple weeks ago, the big hardback.
Yeah.
Just full of splash pages, and it is just fun, old school style art, and it's just a blast.
Yeah, the old classic Thing comics were just fun, or they were heartbreaking at the same time, as he's such a sympathetic character, but you either laughed or you cried for the classic Thing.
Well, when we did the Thing a few weeks ago as Comic Character of the Week, I had said that the Thing is he's the heart and soul of the entire Marvel universe. He is the center of that universe with heart and soul that nobody else takes. Cap, like we talked about, Cap is the inspiration, but man, the Thing is the heart and soul without a doubt.
And then the last pickup for the week was a gift from our friend Chris. Is the Brown Lantern ring.
I'm telling you, when you sport a Brown Lantern ring, you are
powerful.
You're powerful. You're within you're the in crowd. You're the ultimate insider when you have a Brown Lantern ring.
Well, you know what? I'll try and design a Brown Lantern suit that is something that could be easily cosplayed. Since Richard's got the ring, could put the suit together. Halloween's coming up in a couple months.
Richard, you do not have to wear a Brown Lantern suit. No matter what Dan comes up with, you do not have to wear that.
All right, so that's your new stuff. You ready to go, Derek?
So I don't have really new stuff like recent pickups because I hit my LCS up like once a month, and I'm overdue to do that. So I have older books I can show.
But let's just look at that wall behind him. Look at that great wall. Look at that bar.
First Eunice.
Yep.
What do we got here?
Airboy. I have 2 Golden Age Airboy issues, and I love Swamp Creatures. So the Heap being an Airboy. I have the Origin of the Heap, which is cool. Look at that great Airboy. Yep.
Wow.
And it was formerly Air Fighters. Was that the first book where it changed its name? Nice.
That's
very nice.
So technically, this is Airboy 1, but it's Air Fighter Comics. I think it's volume 3, number 26.
Yeah, the numbering on those is crazy.
It gets real stupid real fast. It's by the end of it, it's like volume 12, issue 6 or something like that. It's nuts.
I have a great Airboy Shark cover, which is great, where Birdie is right above the shark. But yeah, that is really great that you have the one where right when they changed the name. Nice.
Yeah. Thanks.
Love it. But great wall, brother. Great
Thank
wall.
you. Yeah.
Guys, what is that? Is that you with Stan Lee?
Okay. Yeah. So in 2010, I met Stan Lee. I did the VIP treatment stuff, and I had him. Yeah, I met Stan Lee there, and then I had him sign. This was my earliest X-Men book at the time, which was X-Men number 15. So I had him sign that, and then CGC sent it off graded. And the other frame over here, if I just kind of do it. So there's X-Men number 1 in there, CGC 25.
Nice.
There's a Transformers number 5 in there, CGC 9.8. And then there's a Journey into Mystery number 63, which is the first. It's the prototype Hulk, but it's Zemnu the Titan.
Mm-hmm.
And that's signed by Stan Lee when I met him the second time.
Nice.
And so that's the gold label thing. And then I got the rest of the stuff floating around here. So, yeah.
That's cool. And Eunice is, I've said it for a while, Eunice is a character with this power set that, would be cool to see him use some more. It's been so long since they've really done anything with him.
There's a lot of, and I mentioned this a lot in my videos, there's so many Silver Age X-Men villains that just, they're done. Like El Tigre, the Locust, Meccano. But like when you go buy the books, everybody's like, it's labeled first Meccano, and therefore it's expensive. But like nobody knows who Meccano is. Like, knock it off with this nonsense.
It's marketing, baby.
Yeah, but it's like, like I want to see somebody say like first Candy Southern. That's actually more important than first Meccano. But they don't. That's Angel's girlfriend. Angel's my favorite.
Well, to Angel, it was important.
Yeah.
I mean, he loves his Southern candy.
All right, so you got back issues, so we'll swing back to you when we do the back issues next. So, Gary, you ready to show off what you got this week?
Let's see what we got. Let's start off with some Marvel action. I guess this is the last issue of West Coast Avengers, so I'm sad to see that. I have enjoyed this run.
Who did the cover for that? That looked like Granov or like Ross almost. Like
you're gonna make me. It's not Ross, but let's see who make me put glasses on. Josie Marie Castanovas.
Oh, okay.
Jose Marie Castanovas. But it's cool. It's fun. Love the West Coast Avengers, and let's see. I had the Marvel stack that bled over. Hold on. Here we go. Awesome cover. Bill Kennedy Johnson's book, The Hulk.
Ooh, very The Thing.
Very much so.
Great cover.
Very much so. And it's a horror book. The Hulk is a horror book. The Hulk is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Okay? It's a horror book. It's okay. Deadpool Wolverine. You got the Beast one-shot Tooth and Claw about that former, that sad X-Men, but if he was Avengers, he'd be happy. The happy Beast.
He definitely does not look happy on that cover.
He does not. Why? Because it's an X-Men book. You put the Beast in an Avengers book, he's happy. He's getting laid every week. He's putting
his face kind of looks like a monkey.
He does. He looks like he's constipated. So that's what the X-Men does to you. All right. Kitty Pryde and Wolverine. So that's our big joke that the Beast is an Avenger. Yeah.
I believe that. Yeah, he is happier as an Avenger for sure.
He is much happier as an Avenger.
100%.
Sal and I had a top 10 reasons why thing, and like one of his points was the Beast. As an X-Men, he solved the legacy virus, and I was like, exactly. And what did it cost him? The death of Colossus. So it just does something good as an X-Men. It's just sucks. And the nail in the coffin with the Avengers was when the Beast had a 3-day layover. He was incommunicado because he had a 4-way with 4 chicks he had met. So there you go. He can't top that.
Legacy virus, 4 girls. Legacy virus.
Exactly.
Oh my garters.
Exactly.
So he gave those girls a different kind of legacy virus.
Yeah, well, he gave them blue fur all over their place. Ultimate Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man we wish was in the regular universe.
Here's the Alex Ross goodness. The Mortal Thor.
See, I told one of the guys that runs my shop, John, who is a fabulous artist, much better than me. They had a couple sketch covers for that. And I told him, I was like, John, you should take one of these sketch covers and you should just draw like some random normal Scandinavian guy on the cover. I mean, who's that? Be like, oh, it's the Mortal Thor.
Yeah, well, there you go. I wonder, at one point in the Simonson run, they had him as like a construction worker.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll do that. There's Talking Geek. Hey, you know what? He that was middle ground, being a Defender, being an Avenger, and being an X-Men. So the Defender, I think he was pretty happy, but nowhere. And another one of the great the George Perez Wonder Man, where they reunited. The Beast comes in. There's this great 2-page spread where he says, "Honey, I'm home," and I said, "See, Sal, he's home. He's home."
I think of him as more as a member of X Factor, because when I started reading as a kid, he was an X Factor at that point.
And he wasn't blue and furry, right?
He was, and then he wasn't, and then he was again.
It's hard to tell.
It's a hard knock life.
So some days he had nair, some days he didn't. All right, FF Fanfare.
But you know what? He did have that brown costume.
He did have a brown costume, just like the Brown Lantern. There we go. I've enjoyed this little sub-series. Bring on the bad guys, Mephisto and Jaramu.
That's
great covers. Great covers.
Yeah, the covers have been fantastic.
Bermejo.
Yeah.
Regular Avengers book. And so that kills it for my marvelous ones. Let's go to Independence. Oh, I can't wait to read this. Nobody does crime like Brubaker and Phillips.
Nice.
So this, can't wait. Still sealed. Brubaker and Phillips on crime, part of the criminal series, which is amazing. I can't say enough good things about it. Continue the Independence, Geiger.
Yes.
Any part of the Ghost Machine books, all of them are great. I think this book has been delayed a little bit, but it's been really cool. The art is amazing. Dust to Dust.
Oh yeah, the art, gorgeous.
Yeah, Jones is just freaking killing it. I mean, the sepia tones in it are just so cool. Looks like Night of the Lepus. It's a bunny invasion.
That's a movie.
that is a movie.
That's a movie.
That's a movie, baby. Yep. There you go, The Invisible Man.
They had a sketch cover for that too, and I picked it up off the rack, and I was like, "Hey, John, look, here's my sketch cover. I already drew it. It's The Invisible Man.
It's done. That's right.
Yeah, it's already done."
That's what we were saying. All right, Hornsby and Halo, another Ghost Machine book. Love it. A lot of fun. All right, let's go to DC's. Let's see what we got here. All right. For DC, we got the Peacemaker. Lick Me. There you go. Peacemaker's back. Lick Me. This book is ridiculous, but sometimes comics can be ridiculous. Green Lantern, really cool cover.
Yeah. Great colors on that.
Can't wait to read this. I haven't read any of the new books yet, so I'm waiting. This is tying in with the Dark Legion, which I love. So long live the Legion.
How many
Legion, baby?
How many appearances of the Legion do you have?
Oh, let's see. Every damn one. I just tracked. Yeah. So I just finished that last year, and that was an ordeal. I was telling the fellas on the show. I told Mark Nathan, who runs the Baltimore Con. I said, "Yeah, I think I finally got it. I've got all the Legion appearances. I got the Jimmy Olsens I needed. Blah 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 that had them." He goes, "So you have the Lois Lane 50?" I'm like, oh, come on, man. What? And damn it. And of course he had a Lois Lane 50. And sure enough, they had like Triplicate Girl and a couple of the other female members were in Lois Lane 50. I'm like, son of a bitch. So I had to buy a Lois Lane 50. Of course, Mark gave me a deal on it, but still, dadgummit. But yeah, so I think I have all the Legion appearances. Flash.
At least it's getting better.
It's getting better. Richard, did you read the annual?
No, I think you guys talked about it 2 weeks ago, and he said that was probably the turning point where they started turning the corner.
It was good, and it dealt with the Shade, and it was very much tied into the James Robinson run on Starman, which was so damn good. I think that went 81 issues. So good to tie into the Shade as he was there. Green Arrow.
And James Robinson, I just did that interview with Phil Hester. Him and Hester have a new miniseries coming out.
Nice. Robinson will be at Baltimore too, and I've never met him, so I look forward to that. The new Justice League Unlimited. It's really been a good book. No, I'm not going to collect all the Lois Lanes, though. I have the early first 2 Lois Lane solo, where she's carrying her own title, because I have every issue of Showcase. And those early Showcase Lois Lanes, those aren't cheap, but I'm happy I have them. I've enjoyed this title, Mr. Terrific. I haven't
How many issues of Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane do us as a collective comic community have to get into your hands before you will decide, God, I guess I just got to get the whole run now? Well, there's a number, and you know there's a number where if you have a certain amount of them, you'll
I know. And it went, I think Lois Lane went like 130 or 140 issues. Jimmy Olsen. So Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen had a few more issues. And I want to say Olsen had 156 issues. And then what would have been the 157th issue became Superman Family, because I think their numbering started at 157, maybe 159. And I have all the Superman Family issues. So they folded Lois Lane, Supergirl, Jimmy Olsen into there. I probably have about 20 issues of Lois. There's some really cool Mick Carty covers that he had done of hers, and when there were 20 centers. And I have those, but yeah, I don't know. If I get number one of a book, then I'm like, well, I got the hardest issue. So,
all right, you heard it, comic community. Someone get him a copy of Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane #1.
We'll go from there. One of the cool things about this Mr. Terrific book, it's got some retro stuff in the past. He drives a 1981 Camaro Z28, which I drove back in the day. Let me tell you something. That was a great car. Had T-tops. And if you've ever seen the nature shows where the grizzlies are lined up, like our Canadian friends can attest here, lined up at the streams, and the fish jump out of the streams right into the grizzly's mouth, that's what it was like pulling up to an intersection or a stoplight with the T-tops on in that car. The fish just jumped in the car. It was amazing. It's the greatest thing in the world.
Was that the car that was in the news? The news, they showed a picture of you near an antique.
The statute of limitations is over. I'm just saying. Yeah, that was it. That was the car.
That was the car? Okay.
That was the car. No, it was just a great vehicle. Had an air inductor, a hood scoop on the front, had the rear spoiler. Oh, so good. Absolute Wonder Woman. I've enjoyed this book quite a bit. I don't know what the hell is going on in this book. I'm still getting it, but it's Picasso on an acid trip, the art. I mean, it is so trippy. But I do want to mention a book that I read from last week, Detective Comics 1100. Have you all read that book?
No.
I haven't read it yet. I'm still behind on last week's stuff.
The first story in that, there you go. No, actually, we played ball together. We played softball together. But the first story in the Detective Comics 1100 might be my story of the year.
Oh.
And it's got Ace the Bat Hound in it. And no words are spoken. There are no word balloons in that story. Just telling you. It's fantastic.
Was there an issue of Super Sons that was like in the Super Sons annual that had one of the stories with the
with the Super Pets?
Yeah, and it had the cow, Bat Cow.
Bat Cow. Yep. So the first story in Detective Comics 1100 that came out last week. Chef's kiss. Loved it. Might be my story of the year. Got this great facsimile of Action 23. So I don't own it. My oldest Action is a mere Action Comics number 50. I know I suck, but Action 23. Two notable firsts in there. What are they? You fellas know?
I know Lex Luthor.
First, Lex Luthor, redheaded Lex Luthor. Now, I have my oldest Superman is Superman 10, and that's the first bald Luthor. But this predates Superman 10, redheaded Lex Luthor, and one other great first. It's the first Daily Planet.
Oh,
okay. Yes. Do y'all remember the paper he worked for before the Daily Planet, or the paper that Clark worked for?
Daily Star.
Daily Star.
Daily Star, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we know the editor. We know the editor of the Daily Planet is Perry White. Who was the editor of the Daily Star?
Terry Gray.
This is super. This is way in the weeds. George Taylor.
Is that a golden size?
No, it's the 64 pages size. It's got all the features in it, but it's a modern size. Some of the facsimiles they've done in the Golden Age size, which I really dig. And what's really cool, a lot of people don't realize on these books like Action, you got other stories. You got Three Aces, and there should be a Zatara story in here. My big joke is if you're a Zatara fan and you say, I love that character so much, I'm going to get every appearance. Sucks for you because his first appearance was Action 1. So, you want to get all the Zatara books. But here's the Zatara feature. So, Action, Detective, Sensation. The lead characters, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, had like an 8-page story in it. And then the rest of it was the different features. So that's why those books spin off, and you got Superman, and you got Batman, and you got Wonder Woman, where the entire 64 pages were all devoted stories to that character. But when you would buy, one of these books like this, it was very much an anthology. I mean, it was not an anthology because you had recurring characters, but it was very much a book where you had the lead character and all these other stories. More fun comics. You got the Spectre, you got Dr. Fate, you got Johnny Quick, you got Aquaman, you got Green Arrow, and other great characters. And Detective, my gosh, you had Slam Bradley, who predates Batman by 26 issues. So, he was in Detective 1. So, and then I guess the last thing to show you is I did get an alternate cover to Superman, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So you don't want Superman breaking in your cell coming after you looking like that. That looks like an Injustice Superman.
Yeah.
About to happen. So that's all my new stuff. So thanks. All
right. Well, I will go last. And it was a heavy week this week. Heavier week than normal, but there's also some series ending and some mini series in here that aren't always. So I'll start off with DC. Got Green Arrow 27. Been digging that. Like Gary, also a lot of stuff that Gary got too. Green Lantern 20, was it 26? Yeah, and the colors on this just like really, really grabs you. I also got the Mr. Terrific number 4. And the Superman 29. Yep, 29. Which I'm really excited to read this. I dig the Legion too. And interested to see how they're going to do this Legion with Darkseid. And Justice League Unlimited 10. Really been liking this series. For Independence, this came out last week, but the polybag version is the one I get because I like getting the little card with it. And that got delayed at my shop, so it just came in this week. So it's Exquisite Corpses, number 4. And I haven't read any of my stuff this week yet. I'm still catching up on last week, so haven't even opened up the polybag for this yet. And also got this is an anthology book. I think, I don't know if this is the last issue or not, but it's Vanishing Point number 4.
Oh, I like the cover.
Yeah, I did grab that. I've enjoyed Vanishing Point. I met Mark Russell last week at the Toronto Comic Con, actually.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
How was that con? Was that a great con?
No, Canada Con sucked. No.
I was expecting to hear something good.
Not to get too far into the weeds with it, but Canadian comic book conventions they pale in comparison to American ones, especially if you are a golden or silver age collector, mainly because in Canada we didn't really get golden age books at all, and there's a whole history as to why that is. But the cons are usually, they're relatively okay for comic books, but if you're like, I like pre-code horror and I like Airboy, but like I don't see those at cons really, because it's just Canada didn't get them.
Wow.
Wasn't X-23 there?
Yeah, Daphne Keane was there, but I don't go for celebrities. I don't care for celebrities. Yeah. The Stan Lee thing was like the last celebrity thing I did, and that was 15 years ago. So
yeah, at Baltimore last year they had John Wesley Shipp, and I was like, all right, well, I liked the Flash show when I was a kid, and I don't really care for getting actors to sign books of characters that they played. Like, I want The only people I want to sign the book is someone that had a hand in creating it. But they did do a one-shot special for The Flash when the TV show came out, where the book was based on the Flash TV show, not the Flash comics. Yeah, thank you, Pam. And it's, you know, and the cover is John Wesley Shipp. F in the chat for Canada. And John Wesley Shipp's, you know, on the cover as him, you know, as his face, and then as the Flash. I'm like, oh, well, you know what'll be cool to get this because he signed it because he is on the cover. And Sal got his autograph and said it was like $50 or something. I went, yeah, it wouldn't be that. It's not $50 cool.
Well, we had him at one of our All-Star cons, which was, you know, the ones that we were, you know, smaller, mid-sized con that Comic Logic we were affiliated with, and I don't remember him charging much at all. And he was a cool guy to meet. It was nice to talk to him.
Sal said he was super nice, and Sal gave him one of our pins, and he was like, "Oh, this is great. I collect these," but I'm just like, I'm not. Yeah, and the list of people I would spend $50 to get their autographed is extremely, extremely limited. Anyway, yeah, back to Independence. Like Gary also got Ghost Machine, New Hornsby, and Halo. This book's been a lot of fun. And the book that kicked off the Ghost Machine titles, Geiger. Love this book.
I do too.
Gary, you know, a book that Gary hasn't read other than the first miniseries, but I know he absolutely loved it. This is the fourth miniseries, Nemesis Forever.
Yeah, I'll let you
doing it again. All right.
I love the I'm back here. The way he's got the you know, you can see the way he's got the city exploding like that.
I didn't find any redeeming value in that character.
You're not supposed to. He's supposed to be a horrible character.
Well, then they have achieved that for sure.
Like him, I also got the Dust to Dust #6.
Dust Bunnies.
Yes, just the artwork in this is gorgeous. It took a couple issues to really figure out what the story was going to be, but I think by like issue 3, I was like, okay, this is what it's going to be, and you definitely gotten into it. Our disguise is exposing. Yeah, I mean, even here, you know, even in our neck of the woods, there's Awesome Con, which
that's a pop culture show. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. Another one of the Mark Millar books I got that I really like is Huck, Big Bad World #4. Really love the first Huck series. Digging this one too. Such a just pure good character that only is interested in doing good stuff for people. Just very refreshing to read in, you know, the current climate that we live in, especially the current climate of comics too.
3 C's.
Yeah. And the last one I got for Independence, which this book's been a banger since it started, Void Rivals 22.
I've been wanting to read those, so like I read the Energon universe, the Transformers, G.I. Joe, and all the side stuff to it. But Void Rivals I was late on, and I haven't gone back to read it, and it's bothering me that it has so much to do with Transformers, because I'm a huge Transformers fan. You'll see more of that shortly. But yeah, I got to read Void Rivals.
Yeah, and it's cool because when it started, nobody knew it was going to be. Nobody knew the Energon universe thing. Nobody knew Kirkman had this, you know, G.I. Joe and Transformers. I got Void Rivals. Like, I think I had reserved it just because I saw, oh, it's a new Kirkman book coming out. Like, I'll read it to start and, you know, give it a chance. And then reading it, and you're like, oh, holy shit! You know, the Starfire thing. You're like, I didn't see that coming at all. Like, that's or Skyfire, I should say. Like, that's fantastic. Yeah, I still like those, you know, those small shows that are in like the Clandestine and the Schaff shows that are in the hotel ballrooms and meeting centers and stuff. You get
Firehouses
there. Yeah.
Firehouses, like the one in Annandale. Yeah.
But
you get serious books there. Yeah.
This book's been fantastic, you know, and it's been tying in not just with Transformers, but with G.I. Joe and like the past, you know, few issues too. And one thing I like that's cool is I like on the back that they print what all the covers are. So even if you don't see one of the other ones at your shop, you could still see what the artwork on it was. So,
or which ones you have to go out and buy.
Yeah. But I dig that, I dig actually being able to look at it and and see, hey, here's all the covers, and then it tells you who the cover artist was too.
Yeah, I really appreciate that with all the Energon books. That's
Yeah.
really to do.
For Marvel, like Gary, also got Wolverine and Kitty Pryde #5.
That's a good cover.
Yeah. And West Coast Avengers #10. Like you said, it's a shame the book's ending. The artwork on it hasn't been fantastic. It's been okay, but the story's been interesting, and you could tell reading it that the writer had stuff long, with how he was doing characters like Blue Bolt and Firestar. You could tell that and the new Ultron, that he had long-term plans. So it's disappointing that we're not going to be able to see exactly what those were.
So the one thing when I talked to Mark Russell, because he did X Factor and I was reading that, I did ask him what his plan. X Factor got canceled after issue 10. And I said, like, what were your plans for it? And he told me all the spoilers that it was going to happen and what his long-term plans were. And he's like, the book was relatively successful, but Marvel just had other plans for it. So I say that all to say, if you ever find the author of the book, just ask them and they'll likely tell you.
Well, I mean, I appreciate that Marvel is giving all the new titles 10 issues, because there was that Avengers book, Avengers Inc., which was fantastic, but they canceled it after 5. And, and really they had canceled it before the 5th issue came out. Like, you're not giving people a chance to really get it and get into the book. Like, right when it's starting to get good word of mouth, you're canceling it. So I like that they're giving them at least 10 issues, but, even when it's 10 issues, they're still, announcing it's being canceled at like 7 or 8. So you're not really giving it 10 issues. So what was it he said the plans were?
I don't know if I'm allowed to share them. Like, just for, I really don't know.
Okay.
And you know what? And that's pretty valid. So I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's fine.
If he told you something like that in confidence, don't. Yeah.
Like Richard, I also got the Thing #4 with the Todd Nauck iconic cover. I've been digging these Todd Nauck covers, and this book's been pretty fun so far. So, Richard, you said there was a specific reason you got this cover. You want to share that?
Yeah, I'll get to it when we do the back issues.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, that book's been a lot of fun. I also got this. I haven't been reading the Imperial War stuff. I probably should, because I guess that's going to be the next lead into the next big crossover. But it's a She-Hulk book, so I had to pick it up. And got the what is it, the Just Spectacular collection cover. So,
that's what that stands for?
Well, yeah, J. Scott Campbell, but I guess that's his Just Spectacular collection, which I think this is the first one I've got of them. But I liked it. I liked it better than the A cover. And if J. Scott Campbell can do one thing, he can draw a good looking woman.
And ironically, I got the Ghost Rider cover, which was not a woman.
That one was pretty badass, though.
It was pretty cool.
That was the Daredevil cover was a questionable pose, but unfortunately, all of his women's faces kind of look the same, but
they have faces.
Yeah, and I gave it to Ultimate Spider-Man #20. Like I said, this is the Spider-Man fans want to be reading in the regular Marvel universe. Hopefully, Marvel will get their act together and give us that Spider-Man again.
I've been predicting issue 1000. He and Mary Jane back together. I've been saying this for a year now, so that's my prediction. We'll see if it happens.
They're gonna do something. They've already started advertising like Road to 1000. So we'll see. All right, so we'll jump into back issues. So start us off there, Richard.
I like that. Not Sal. That's great.
Ricky from All Sorts of Words talked about this on his channel a couple weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to read this one. I'm going to read this one right after Woman of Tomorrow.
Is that the collection of the stories that were in those Walmart books, or is that a different?
I believe so. Yeah, I think that's what he said on his stream. Yep.
And Kubert will be at Baltimore this year, so look forward to meeting him.
Yes, definitely.
That's kind of it for back issues. The rest of the stuff that I have is got my last package in for all of the stuff I want for Heroes, and both the comic books and the art for the original art. This one, Airboy.
Oh,
I
Dave Stevens.
Oh, awesome. Love
Yep.
that cover.
That's no, what is it? It's not Air Fighter Comics 2.
It's Airboy number 5, right? Is it 5?
No,
Yeah, number 5.
Is it? Oh, that's
Mhm.
fair, but it's an homage cover. It's from a Fred Kita cover.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dave Stevens.
That Airboy series went 50 issues, and I was buying them off the rack then. Loved them. Speaking of racks, right? I was buying it off the rack, and I loved that book. Chuck Dixon.
Air
I
Fighter
was
Comics Volume 2, Number 2 is where the homage is from.
What was it? I heard Volume 2, Number 2.
Air Fighters Comics 2.
Okay.
That is what, like the Dave Stevens, that cover there is an homage back to that 1941 issue.
Yeah, and Valkyrie, what a cool character, right?
Yeah,
So-
definitely.
I wish I could find a beautiful woman to model for me in the same way that Dave Stevens could get beautiful women to model for him. And
Have
if
you all
you've seen the
seen-
Dave Stevens documentary,
Yeah.
you'll know what that means.
The Dave Stevens documentary is fantastic, and they asked one of his models. They said, or they asked people, "Can you sum up Dave Stevens in 3 words?" And she said, "Yeah, tits and ass." That was great.
Because she told her, she said that Stevens would tell her to model nude form and be like, "Oh, I need to see it that, and I'll just paint or draw the costume on you, but I need to see that like that." And she said, "I think he just wanted to see me naked." I'm like, "Yeah,
Of
duh."
course he did.
Got this one from Norrin Rag.
Oh, that's really cool. Look at that.
This one
That
I
is-
actually threw in for free.
Is this sketch cover that he did?
Yeah, sketch cover.
Oh,
Nice.
that's awesome.
That is beautiful. Look at
Yeah.
that.
That is.
He threw that one in for free as I won
Oh.
this one.
Oh,
Look-
that's fantastic. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, yeah, I saw that. He put that in the group chat. That is
Wow.
gorgeous.
Very cool.
Yep.
What a great front and back cover. You know what you need with that? You need what Mike just brought me, the clear plastic
yeah.
boards.
Yeah, I got to put it in a Gerber with the clear back so I can display the front and the back.
Absolutely, you do.
Got this one. I think this was from Bronze Age Nerd. I think this was he modeled this one off of the J. Scott Campbell cover, or it was David Nakayama. I forget which one.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice rogue. Here's why I got that thing. Was this one is from actual Dracula.
Oh,
And
that's
it-
awesome.
It
That's
is
really good.
incredible in
That
person.
that's almost like it's like a 3D effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's really
The-
great.
The paper he used is kind of textured, which makes it almost 3D.
Yeah, that is
Wild.
that is really cool.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like it's coming alive. That's great.
Yeah.
It does. That is sensational.
Ah,
And then a couple other things to show is everyone knows how much I love Starlin, Lim, and Perez. So this is a print from Starlin, signed
Yeah.
right here.
That thing, I just had to look up. What's that artist remind? It reminds me of Corbin.
Yeah, a little bit. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
That Starlin Lim Perez is awesome. Yeah, that does remind me. That looks like a Corbin. Yeah, the Starlin Lynn Perez print is pretty cool.
Show
And
the Starlin Perez one again. I'm sorry, I looked to the side. I missed it.
Yeah.
is that punch like
Oh,
Infinity?
man.
I think that's from the Infinity Gauntlet comic. That Thanos punching Hulk there.
That's
That
fantastic.
is awesome.
Yeah, that is just great.
my favorite one was when he just backslapped Drax and the Hulk.
Yeah.
I can't remember if that was in Infinity Gauntlet or Infinity War, but he just like that to both of them. I think that was in Gauntlet.
Yeah,
when,
yeah, it was Gauntlet.
Nebula got the gauntlet, and then Thanos came in and he just backslapped both of them.
It's crazy to think that wasn't going to be a miniseries. That was just going to be a storyline that he did in Silver Surfer.
Yeah,
And and Marvel's like, no, we're going to make an event out of this. So if it had stayed a Silver Surfer storyline, that's why it was all that stuff leading up to it. It's like, how different would it have been? Because I'm sure they wouldn't have used as many characters in it at that point.
And my trade of that is signed by all three of those gentlemen, which is pretty awesome.
I have a comic that's signed by all three of them. I got it from Cheddar Comics, our friend Cheddar. He got a comic that was Infinity Gauntlet signed by Perez and Starlin, and then I met Ron Lim and just had him sign it. It was on the inside cover, and they'd used just pen, so I just had Ron Lim do pen. I'm hoping that CGC does a triple verification because I was told they only do two. Once they do triple, then I'll submit it and get it in a case. So
meeting Perez was just a highlight for me. I'm so glad I had that one opportunity to do it. So great individual.
And then the last two things is, speaking of Dave Stevens, this is from Mission 22.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
So good.
This is from Ben Taz, a good friend of Mike from Lunch Money Comics, and these are his prints that he did, and he actually got permission to do this drawing through the Dave Stevens Foundation, Dave Stevens' sister.
Yes.
Yeah, and you follow the Rocketeer Trust on Instagram. That's her, and I saw her repost that when it went up. I've done a couple Rocketeer sketch covers, and she's actually reposted those too, which I was like, oh man, that's awesome.
Oh, there you go. That's
nice.
I had to censor it.
Yeah.
It's after dark.
That's cool.
Also from Ben Taz. So Ben Taz was who I actually won the Airboy.
Looks like Taz.
Are you gonna, when you hang those up? So you got them framed. When you hang those up, are you gonna hang them side by side, or are you gonna put them in like different areas?
I got three of them. So it's the two of them. One of them is the yellow one that is clothed. And then I got another one where it's just two nudes on the side. So it's three of them in a row.
Nice. Nice. Man, that's some awesome stuff on there.
That's a Dave Stevens sandwich right there.
Yep.
The kind of sandwich he would have liked.
Absolutely.
And then just, again, this is all the stuff I bidded on, and one is Heroes for Heroes is a online charity to help out with soldiers who are struggling with mental illness. Heroes for Heroes and Mission 22 work together. It is a couple events a year. Some of them is just people who donate comics, and you can buy the comics and other memorabilia. And then there's a live artist stream that Roscoe, Actual Dracula, Izzy, Big Me McFly, just a ton of them. Incredibly talented artists that just come on and draw, and then you can bid on the artwork. It is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful organization.
Yeah, I was not able to be on the last one, but there is, and I think it's for that. There's one coming up, I want to say in a month or so, give or take, that they said they were going to be doing the stream. And whatever time it starts, I told them, I was like, oh, I can't be on there at the start, but I get off work, I'll get home at this time, I should be able to jump on. And they're like, yeah, man, that's fine, whenever. So when it gets closer to it, I'll have it on here and tell people. I forget what the date is right now.
Yeah, you donated your Captain America sketch cover to last year's event, and I got outbid on that one, but that one was just gorgeous.
Yeah.
I did that, and then there were some other comics I donated last year, like some X-Men books, like the first Forge, the first I think Firestar, and in regular continuity, the Camelot 3000 books, and I sent them some stuff for this year, but I guess it's going to be on something else. I sent them this like Sergeant Rock drawing I did, and a couple other things.
Yeah, I think the first show went pretty long, so they decided to break it up into two shows.
Yeah.
So, yep.
All right, Derek. So
good deal. You
are up. I heard you got some pretty awesome stuff to show.
Sure. I don't know who told you that, but they're right. So one thing I just got was Frankenstein, Bernie Wrightson, and this is this isn't the original copy. It's just it's one of the many reprints. But of course, it has all of his gorgeous artwork.
The lab scene is maybe the greatest piece of art I've ever seen. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very eager to. I don't know which page it's on here, but I'm very eager to just dive right into this book because I don't think. No, I've never read Frankenstein, so am excited just to read that. And obviously, there's the movie coming out with who's doing the movie? Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, Del Toro.
And it's heavily inspired by this. So I picked this up almost 2 months ago now. But
Del Toro's was a huge Wrightson fan.
yeah,
Del Toro, I know for the movie too. He said he wanted to use, there's not that much CGI in it. He said he wanted to be as much as possible all practical effects.
yeah. So it's going to be pretty. I'm looking forward to watching that.
Me too.
That's a great book. That's a really cool pickup.
Oh yeah, the artwork in that is just stunningly gorgeous.
I have some of those prints signed by Bernie. The lab scene one, I have a 1,000 piece puzzle I did of that lab scene, and I'm pretty damn good at puzzles. That was the hardest freaking puzzle I have ever done with the black and white. Oh my god! But so worth it. And when it was done, I put the Mod Podge on it, and I, glued it all together. It's hanging on my wall.
I do have a Wrightson portfolio as well. That the envelope with one zombie, and then inside is 4 prints. It's obviously one of the greatest comic book artists of all time.
Oh, he's my guy. I worship at the altar. Right, the Swamp Thing 9 is my favorite cover of all time.
Sure, yeah.
Ask him how many copies he has of it.
Like 14.
Is that
I
all?
sent one away. I actually sent one away last week to somebody. So, yeah.
All right. Well, for back issue books, so like the past month and a bit, I've started collecting a lot of. I've just started getting more books. So this is Sam and Max Freelance Police. This is the first appearance of Sam and Max. If you guys aren't familiar with them, they had a video game that was picked up by LucasArts. They had a cartoon show. They had various other comic books. This is done by Steve Purcell, who did Fish Police, if anybody's familiar with that, out of the 80s. Just black and white comedy, animal. This is kind of like the Naked Gun of.
He has a like Slowpoke Lopez. He has a very big gun.
Something like that, yeah. So that was one book I grabbed, but this one here is this one's my current pride and joy because it's in such incredible great quality. I just picked this up for an incredible steal of a deal. It's Transformers #1. This is the Canadian edition. So it's not just newsy. It is has the $1 price up at the top there. So Transformers 1 Canada edition here. This easily grades as a 9, and it just can be with the tack iron, if it's done properly, the minor creases there could easily bump this to 9.6, 9.8.
It's a beautiful copy.
It is.
Yeah, it is. I'm a huge Transformers fan, so to finally get this book, and especially at the price that I got it at, which I'll tell you, it was $95 US. I did get it at that price, and the quality is super happy about it. But let's get to some old.
Nice.
I grew up a huge Transformers fan, reading the comics, the toys, like that was, that part of the 80s with Transformers, Silverhawks, G.I. Joe. I was the prime age for all that. I loved the cartoon, Transformers, the movie. I got my mom take me to see it. And, I sat there and like when Optimus Prime died, I was crying. I look over and she's asleep. And I was like, they killed Optimus. How could you be sleeping? I got it on DVD. I've got the soundtrack on CD.
Yeah, I haven't stopped loving Transformers. I still collect them.
I missed the boat. I know I had that series. I just bought it because I was buying so many comics, but I never watched the show. So I didn't know.
It's all good
about it. But that's because, again, I'm 61, so I'm old. That's it was past my time.
If you want to hear a really cool story, go on YouTube and type in, looking for Peter Cullen talking about how he came up with the Optimus Prime voice.
Yeah.
And like the story he tells about his brother was a soldier, and when he tells his brother, "Oh, I'm going off to audition for this part," it's this robot, that turns into a truck, and he's a leader, and then like the advice that his brother gave him, that he said stuck with him on how to do the part. It's like, man, that's awesome. That's such a touching story.
Nice.
He also was the voice of Predator too, if you didn't know that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did the throat noises, right? And he was the voice of Ironhide.
That he was too. Yes. So I have a couple Strange Tale books to show. Some early ones. This is number 128.
No, look at that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so this is in terms of the X-Men continuity. This was from I think October of '64. So this takes place like just after issue 6 of X-Men, and I think issue 6 or 7 around there. Also, like Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch were also in that Journey into Mystery with Thor, which was like 109 or something. So this is like around the same time. They were just throwing Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch in everything, which whatever. But this is a pretty early appearance. Like this would technically be there's 4, 5, 6, then this. So this would be their 5th or 6th appearance in the Marvel comic universe, being in the Strange Tales. And they wanted to quit Magneto's group, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and they got chased away by Thing and Human Torch.
That's awesome. And that looks like it's in pretty good shape too.
Yeah, it is.
It's like kind of it's you can't really tell. There is some yellowing on the cover. It is fairly stained on the side there. So I would grade this thing at a 4. Yeah, but it's an all right condition. It presents very well for a 4.
Yeah.
It looks. I would have thought it was much better for. It looks great. The Strange Tales annual is kind of the same deal, where it's got a very early Spider-Man appearance.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's like Amazing Fantasy 15, Spidey 1, Spidey 2, and then maybe that's Strange Tales, or maybe it's Spidey 3 and then the Strange Tales. But it's like one of the earliest 5 appearances of Spidey, and he doesn't have the emblem on his chest.
Yeah, isn't that a I think Ditko. No, I think
it's Kirby. It's Kirby, yeah.
Yeah. Here's another Strange Tales. This is the first appearance of Eternity, who is one of my favorite cosmic beings. Because when I first learned about Eternity, it just blew my mind that you could have a physical embodiment of the universe.
Yeah,
and I've always been a big fan of Eternity. Just the idea of that you could physically have a representation of death or love and hate, and so to have first appearance of Eternity, great book to have in my collection. I just added this recently along with the other Strange Tales.
Your pre-code horror guy, do you have any of the Strange Tales Atlas horror books?
The only one I have, not pre-code, no. The only other one I have is the first appearance of Grog, which is like the Fing Fang Foom prototype.
Nice.
But I don't have any pre-code Atlas ones.
Gotcha. Well,
but I do
still,
have
any, but you know what? Doesn't have to be pre-code. Just any Atlas, titles of those. There you go. Look at that beautiful Vault of Horror. There you go.
This book, though.
Yeah.
So this is Vault of Horror number 13. So it was Was that Crime Does Not Pay? What was it?
Crime Suspense Stories.
No. This was another crime book. And then at issue 12, it changed over to the Vault of Horror. And then this is issue 13. So technically, this is Vault of Horror number 2.
Nice.
And this is Johnny Craig cover. It presents really well. Technically, the cover is attached, but it is glued to the spine. But it presents gorgeously, and I just love. I love horror, and I love EC horror, and Johnny Craig's one of my favorite Golden Age artists.
Colors are great.
Yeah, this is a wonderful
logo.
Yeah, and this predates when you get to the later issues. They have the heads there, the old the Crypt Keeper and the Vault Keeper. This is before the old witch. So like there was the 3 of them, because there was this book, Tales from the Crypt, and
Vault of
Crime Suspense, but there was another one that is eluding me right now. And they were the 3 characters that introduced all the stories, and then they all combined together in this. Anyway, long story short, this predates the old witch by I think a couple issues. So real cool.
Those old EC books had just such amazing covers.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the Scarlet Witch. Her first appearance on that cover of X-Men, she's got brown hair and a green costume. And if you're a fan, looking at it like Scarlet Witch, where the hell's the Scarlet part?
Yeah, exactly. And now I just have a slew of X-Men to show you. Just some recent pickups to fill up the holes in my collection. We'll start with the boring ones. So there's number 26. LT Gray, the final appearance of him in the series. I've always been a fan of Werner Roth art, actually. I know he didn't just do X-Men. He did a lot of romance and, some free code stuff in the horror. And I always enjoy. I feel he's an underrated artist for this series, and I'm not going to go too deep into that. But yeah, this is a Werner Roth cover. I don't mind it at all.
I always like the Professor X, like right above the title, with just the floating head and hands, and like
I have such a headache.
the beams
The trade
coming out of his
dress.
head.
Head on, fly directly to your forehead. You know, like
He's like, you teenagers are giving me a headache. God damn it!
The angel ones are the best. The angel ones, the angel in the trade dress.
yeah, the early ones with Angel flying, like the unassigned
Yep.
guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I just posted this on Instagram yesterday, but this is X-Men number 40.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the Frankenstein cover. Yep.
And I've always been, I had in a recent video where I showed this off. I always questioned the reason why this book is so unfairly priced. It always seems to be a really high, expensive book for it not even being really Frankenstein's monster. Spoiler alert, it's an android from outer space. That's 150 years old. It's not actually the Frankenstein, but I think it's just, those Frankenstein comic book collectors, and it kind of has that horror edge to it. And I think that's why this book is priced where it is. But I'm finally glad to fill this hole. I actually got this at a good price at the convention I was just at. But yeah, a George Tuska cover.
Yeah, that's a great cover.
And Neil Adams covers. So this is number 63. This is the first appearance of the mutant, or the Savage Land mutate Lorelei, who will seduce all the male X-Men, and Jean Grey just shows up and is like, I don't think so. You stay away from my boys. And then she beats up Lorelei and calls it that.
Girl!
Pardon?
Like, girl!
Yeah, exactly. Just with all the sass. So another hole to have done. And then one of the reprints, 91. This is a reprint of issue 43. Which was also a Tuska cover. The only thing, the reprints were always interesting because they didn't just reprint the books, but they changed the covers a little bit. And in this one here, the original cover, the whole thing's white. In this one here, they put this reddish black explosion in the background here, and did change the coloring a little bit. But yeah, that's issue 91, which with this now gives me a full run of issue 90 to 544 complete.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
But the cool books are issue number 6 that I picked up.
Oh, that's cool.
So
those little red trunks.
Yeah, that's right. He's adorable. Look at him, just so cute. And this is not just an early, Silver Age Namor appearance, but this is the first where they kind of call him a mutant, which later on in comic world, Namor is a mutant, and so that's always fun. This book is a little tattered, but I needed to fill the hole. My goal is once I have the whole run completed, then I'm going to start upgrading the books. I'd say
that's the sickness. You have a book and you're paying money for one you already have. I do it all the time.
You know what we always say, better low grade than no grade.
Exactly. Buy the book, not the grade. So I grabbed that, and the last book I'm going to show is issue 9 that I picked up.
The Avengers crossover. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is the arguably the first X-Men crossover next to the Tales of Suspense. Right there it is. Tales of Suspense number. How am I doing this? This is technically the first X-Men crossover with the Avengers, but the Avengers aren't really in this. They're there as they talk to them on the TV screen. It's really Angel versus Iron Man. But this is the actual first Avengers crossover here, and with this I need issue 2, 3, 4 to complete my sub 10 run. So, and I have up to issue 19. I'm missing 20. I have 21 onwards and stuff, so just little holes here and there that I need to complete, but most of it are reprints.
Sounds like 4 is the toughest one you need to get.
4 and 50 are the last two real big ones.
Now with your
cover,
with your complete run, our guy Sal is working on a complete run of X-Men 2, and he's doing volume 1. I'm working on a complete run of volume 1 on Avengers. I'm well far behind. He's, I think, less than 20 issues away. I'm 100 issue away on Avengers. But for Avengers, I'm counting all of the annuals as part of that. For the X-Men, he's not counting the annuals. He's just going for the volume. And I don't think he's counting giant size, but I mean, that's really because the price of it. So for your complete X-Men run, are you counting the annuals and giant size?
So I have all the annuals, so that's technically complete.
Yeah.
So regardless if I am or not, it's done. I was, so yes. Technically, I wouldn't consider giant size because it is a one shot. I don't own giant size. I do need it, but I don't consider it part of the series or the volume because it wasn't really. It was kind of like, let's see if it sticks and see what happens there. So, because the giant size one came out, and then it was months later, 94 showed up. So, no, I don't include it, but it should be, but I don't because
no, I'm with you. The annuals I count as part of the run, but the giant size, and when you look up the giant size, it's under giant size.
Yeah.
Was what they're listed as. They're not part of that run. So, but the giant size X-Men only went 2 issues. The 2 is easy.
I do. Yeah, I have issue 2.
Yeah, the 2 is easy. And my number 1 is beat. I'd like to have a better copy, but I decided a few years ago I was going to upgrade it, but I would have had to turn the one I have in and plus throw another $1,000 in. And I said, you know what? I'll keep the one I have and get some other books.
I'd like to have a copy. You got to look at it like this. No, I don't include it as part of the run because it wasn't part of it until you get a copy of it. And like, of course I include it, and here it is.
Well, you know, I had a complete run of Spider-Man, and it still bugged me that I didn't have an AF-15. So I felt incomplete, and I went out and got an AF-15. So I didn't have to have it, but somehow I felt incomplete without it. So
you still feel incomplete with it?
No, well, I have it. I don't feel incomplete, So
like I didn't have to have it, but I had to have it.
Yeah. So I don't feel incomplete at all, but I feel more complete having the AF-15 to go with all the other Spideys. So part of the sickness.
That's
it is.
Man, those are some fantastic, especially
Great book. And congratulations, you're on the cusp of being there. So
close to the greatness.
So close, you're so close. So
you've got one. That's the big one.
Yeah, the big one's out of the way, and I got that back in 2011. So that one was done and out of the way a long time ago.
You got that before it really went through the roof.
Yes, I did.
What was it that made you decide X-Men is going to be the run? Like, this is the big run that you're going to go for to complete.
I've always, since a kid, I was a fan of X-Men. And so I've always been a big fan of just the idea of the characters, some particular characters. And it's challenging enough to just say, like, to make it a goal. I was like, I could say, something easier. I don't know, like, Defenders or something. I'll collect all that and call it, like, make it really. But X-Men has a little bit of a challenge to it. But there's a lot of history behind it all, too. And I don't just like X-Men, I like the medium of comic books. I like date stamps on my books. I like I like the history of the artists of the books, and I like that there's X-Men number 36 and 34 is Dan Adkins does the covers, and Dan Adkins does the interiors of 34. And I like that you can have such a variety in your characters. So like he's the first character or artist that made the X-Men look like adults in the series because he was such a detailed artist. And so I enjoy it. There's so much variety in those early X-Men books, and of course in the later X-Men books, that it makes a no-brainer. There's just so much. It's not like it's Kirby and Stan Lee on 100 issues of Fantastic Four, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
But there's just so much variety in the X-Men, not just with the characters, but in the creative team, that it makes it very exciting to go through it all.
I'm with you on the date stamps. My Brave and the Bold 28 has a date stamp of this, December 28th, 1959 on it, which is so cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool when you see, there's some stuff like you don't want to see. Like I saw this at Baltimore last year. I saw this beautiful copy of Avengers 4, and the only thing that was wrong with it was there was a stamp right across the top of this kid's name of whoever it was that had owned it. And other than that, it was beautiful. And looking back on it, I was like, you know what? I should have just bought that copy and paid someone to restore it because I'm not going to flip it. I'm going to keep it. But
so like this book here, somebody wrote JR in the, hang on, let me put my background back up here. If you have a black background, it makes the glare disappear. JR at the top there, and then there's
See,
somebody stamped on Roy on the cover, but then right there, this here is another stamp that says Midway Pharmacy in Kansas, Montana.
Yeah, I think those are so cool because
like
you get to see it helps add to the history of the book. It's not just okay, here's the date when it came out. It's like I now know where this book originated.
I have the provenance to it. You
Yes.
know?
Yeah. But it's so cool. Like you have that and be like, okay, so my copy of this is from here. Like, then you could kind of think it started off here and this is where it's at now.
North
And you
in
can kind of
Canada.
think about, hey, like, what kind of story went along with getting that book, from this time in this place to here with me now.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And that's the joy of one of the many joys of the hobby.
Oh, the other EC book you were talking about was Haunt of Fear.
Haunt of Fear, yes, thank you. Yes, I have a couple issues of those over there.
But that's the great thing about comics. It's all about stories, and it's not just the stories that are in the books. It's the stories that involve the books too. Like you said, with the creative team, with something like that, just with the physical books themselves. It's all about great stories.
That X-Men got canceled at 66 when it was actually just starting to pick up again on sales because of Roy Thomas and Neil Adams. Like, that's crazy. And then knowing that, Marie Severin redid some of the art, like some of the covers in the issue 65. She drew that cover and did some alterations on earlier issues. And it's like to learn those little things as you come along and reading these stories is so cool. And anyway, lots of history. Love it.
So for X-Men, I think most fans have their favorite team or their favorite era, and some will be like, oh, I love the Outback team, or I love the Jim Lee team, or the original ones, or the all new, all different, whatever. Do you have a favorite, either a favorite era of the team or like a favorite iteration of of team membership?
It's so varied, and I think it kind of depends on my mood.
Yeah.
Like my favorite character is Angel, but I would have to say like my favorite team or era, like obviously Claremont is the easy answer, but I really first got on board with X-Men with Joe Casey's run and that was issue 397, and that was real fun. But I also really enjoyed the whole Messiah Complex storyline, leading like Messiah Complex all the way to Second Coming. That is like peak X-Men storytelling. And obviously there's a variety of writers and variety of characters involved. But like that's wonderful. But I'm all over the place. Depends on the time of day, unfortunately, or fortunately.
I mean, for me, Age of Apocalypse is one of my all-time favorite major comic book events. And to think about the way they did it, like who else has done it where they said, we're going to essentially cancel every book in, that we're putting out for the X line. And we're going to, for 4 months, have 4 completely different titles in this completely different, reality. And the characters are kind of going to be the ones that
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, they're not going to be. And it was just fantastic.
Should have been longer.
Yeah. Well, they've revisited it a few times, so and we did get Blink and 100 some issues of Exile. So.
Yes.
Very true.
All right. Well, thank you, man. There's some fantastic books to show off.
Thanks.
Good
and
job.
now Gary gets to follow you up.
Okay. Well, let's see what I got. I'm going to start off with a couple things that our buddy Kent Hubbs, Comic Hub, did for me. This is an Unknown Soldier 267, had really bad water damage, and look how perfect and flat it is. It was really rippled. And you know what? This is the second last issue of Unknown Soldier. And you don't usually get a Nazi ringmaster. So, there's something.
Colors on that are really great.
Yeah, which is one reason why I wanted him to fix the book, because the colors were so great on it. And this was actually given to me from Dave from After Time Comics. He said, oh, water damage is so bad, he just gave it to me. And I said, you know what? I'll invest a little bit of money and make it right. And this book also, great Joe Kubert cover, Son of Tom,
nice.
Also had some water damage to it, and he fixed that. So shout out to Kent. All right, so day one of Fairfax Comic-Con, I showed the books I had last week. I had 10 books, and I didn't really think I was going to get anything the second day. And the second day, I actually came back with a few more books from there than I got the day before. So that,
You honestly believe you were going to spend the day at a Comic-Con and not get anything?
well, I mean, I just thought that they wouldn't have anything that really interests me. So I got some books that may end up being part of a Codex giveaway coming up.
Oh,
Like the Ambush Bug Stocking Stuffer,
nice.
which is great. Yeah, second copy, 2 copies of that. They were cool. And I got this one. I have this, but I've got it because we had just done the Man-Bat episode.
Oh, that's cool.
This was one of the recommended readings because this has Man-Bat 400, the first appearance, and I guess it was 407, 408 maybe. So it's got
I think its first 3 appearances.
it's got the first 3 appearances in here where DC was collecting them during this time. So you get those in there. So that'll probably be part of a giveaway. I got a couple books that I always get when I see them cheap, because even though I already have them, there's like 3rd copies of these, so maybe they'll find their way into a giveaway. This great run of the Spectre by Orstrander and Mandrake that they're finally going to collect in an omnibus. But look at that cover.
Oh, that's nice.
That is just, and I'm a sucker for a graveyard scene anyway. So I just think that is so fantastic. And this one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a great one.
Yeah, I love that. And a lot of fun. Like I said, I have multiples of these, and this one won't be given away. I'll keep this. This is the great Bernie Wrightson.
Nice.
Cover. And I love the gravestone at the bottom.
Yeah.
It has Wrightson on it. So just
That's
so cool. And let's see. I had all the Alien. Let's see. There just one. I don't know. This is a Wrightson I showed a minute ago. I don't know if you've seen it. So, yeah, just a really cool Wrightson Spectre. I thought I had every issue of Alien Worlds, and I did. I had all the. This is by Pacific Comics. I had all the Alien Worlds series, and then I had the one-shot 3D issue. I didn't realize there was this one-shot. So now, So now, yeah, she's hiding behind that little tree, but she's got a problem.
I kind of thought the T-Rex's head was coming out of the yellow, like it was like sticking its head through a wall.
Like it was mounted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just in the wild, but I didn't have that. So this is a reprint of some of the Atlas Western series that they did in the 50s, and it only went 3 issues, and the first issue is Tex Dawson, Gunslinger. Issue 2 and 3 is just Gunslinger, but love it.
Oh, that's a great cover.
Yeah, the colors are great. Issue 1 is a Steranko, and it is one of my favorite covers. It is really great. So I need to get issue 3 in nice shape, and with these, I'm holding out for really nice shape. So 1 is great shape, 2 is great, but I'll get 3.
So Marvel issue 2 with a red background. You never see that.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that something? My second issue Marvel with the red. And speaking on the red theme, I'm a sucker for a redhead, married one. So there you go.
Nice.
That's just a great redheaded witch cover. Love
Happy
it.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween indeed. To be that broom. There we go.
Given the choice, I'll pick the treat.
Yeah, well, there you go. And redhead theme. So neat Poison Ivy, Capricorn parody cover. So homage cover. I even picked up. So I have the great Alf. I guess it's 48, the seal cover where he's violating the seal. So I saw this cover and I liked it. And Alf went 50 issues. I love this, and this is issue 49. He says, "Okay, you're 1 issue early. Come back next month."
Nice.
So that made me laugh. And right here, rest in pizza, Alf. And then what's it say up here? This is a corner box, not a coroner box. So there you go. So
really working at home there.
yeah. So it made me laugh. I picked it up. So there we go.
As a crazy cat guy, I disapprove of Alf
Yeah, because he's
Now you're
I'm a cat guy too, but you know, he never got to eat the family cat, so I think he was reined in.
so now you're just 48 issues away from a complete run.
I guess I am. I guess I am. I just don't think I'm going to do that, but who knows?
And do you guys remember the name of his home planet where he came from?
Melmac?
Melmac.
Yeah.
I remember they did the Alf animated series that all took place on Melmac, and it wasn't on, I guess, before he came to Earth, and he was like him wearing a Hawaiian shirt, and you're like, why do they have Hawaiian shirts on this alien world? And it was dark the way that the show ended, where he got like, he was going to get, picked up by a ship and taken home, and the U.S. military captured him, and the episode ends with him in custody, and then they canceled it after that. And the next season, it was going to be him getting freed, but they canceled the show, so the show just ends with him being imprisoned by the U.S. government.
Well, yeah.
That was dark.
Look, he's an illegal alien, so it's very current.
Yeah,
it's very current, unfortunately. So the last 3 books I got, 2 of the 3 are books I already own. Freaking roll. That's how I roll. But I've been looking to upgrade this book, and it's a hell of an upgrade.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Red Circle Sorcery. Number, is that 6? Yeah.
That's so cool.
Look at the colors. Look at the colors. Put it in a Gerber bag. That sucker just shines, doesn't it? But I love that, especially like us on air. He's getting ready to get his ass. So, but yeah, so love that I got a nice upgrade.
It's weird how it almost is Christmas like colors. Like it comes off kind of like a Christmassy book, but it's so not.
Yeah. Merry Christmas! I'm about to bite your neck. Yeah. And he's smoking. He's got a little cigarette there. He's so bored. But this is Gray Morrow, a great Gray Morrow cover. And I just completed this about a month ago. The Red Circle, was the first 2 issues were Sabrina and totally Archie. So I don't have those, but issue 3 through 11 are the Red Circle Sorcery books. And so they're really cool Gray Morrow covers. But I think this is my favorite cover in the bunch. So. Did they? Okay, that's pretty funny with Alf in Area 51. So I said I sent a book out last week to somebody. So of course I had to get another one.
Nice.
So another 9. So keep me at my level of 14 of these. So,
I thought you were up to 20.
No, I'm not up to 20. Listen, I've probably given away 20 of these issues. But the more expensive they get, the harder it is to give away. And I'm setting the goddamn market on these things because I keep buying the suckers. But whenever I get a good deal on it, and this is a pretty copy, I paid less than that for it. But it's, again, my favorite cover of all time. So,
yeah.
And here we go. The last book I did not have. It is a pre-code horror. It is House of Mystery number 5.
Hey.
There we go, baby.
That's nice look.
Mm-hmm. I love the witch's shadow, which is a traditional witch shadow. She's not wearing that. So how about that? So the colors are really great. And you know what? Sure, it's got some spine stuff and all that. I don't care. These early issues, you get them when you can get them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I won't even upgrade this one. There's no need. It's just fine.
No, even the little marker marks that are put on books, like I don't mind those at all from the store or from the shops. Like
yeah, me neither. That doesn't bother me at all. That does not bother me at all. It doesn't take away from the image. Yep, it doesn't take away from the image. So I'm just thrilled. So I made the crazy. I own every DC Bronze Age horror, and I do have a complete run of House of Secrets. And now I've made this crazy decision to complete the Unexpected and to complete House of Mystery. So. Yeah. This is part of what will be an ongoing quest that will be time and treasure spent. But, I've got House Mystery 1, so there you go. I have Unexpected 1. That's the catalyst for me getting all these damn books. But
I always said somebody's got to get you a copy of Lois Lane 1 to get you going on that.
I won't turn it down, but we'll see. I'm not going to guarantee I'll get them. So, but that was my biggie, House of Mystery numero 1952 or 53. But yeah, pre-code horror. There you go.
Love it.
That's awesome. All right, so I guess I'll round it out here. So I got 2 books back that I submitted to PSA. Now that PSA is grading comics, me and Sal did an interview with Manu from 9.9 Newsstand, and go check it out in the interview section on the YouTube page here, and you'll be able to see that. And talking with him about how because he kind of consulted some with PSA as they were getting ready to do it. I said, you know what? I'm gonna send him off a couple books. So I sent 2 books to him. They're not a lot of value. They're probably like $20 books or so. But I thought they would be books that might look cool with the PSA red logo. A lot of people online have been complaining about the label. A lot of people online have been complaining about the label. I don't have a problem with it. It's the label they use for cards. I'm not into collecting cards, but I know that they're the industry leader in it, so I could see why they would want to keep the label the same. But I keep telling people that you look at what the CGC logo was when they started it, and you look at it now, and it's it looks a lot different. So we don't, I don't know that they'll keep these forever. So, and I didn't get either one of these books pressed or cleaned or anything. I just sent them off as is. And the turnaround time for them, now granted, CGC is still getting a ton more books than PSA is, but the turnaround time is very quick. I sent these 2 off, and I got them back yesterday. I have CGC books that I sent off, sketch covers that I did, that I sent off to get graded, that I sent like 2 months before I sent these off, and I'll be getting those back in a couple days. So we'll see what the turnaround time is, as they get more stuff coming in. But the first one is the Captain America 23, the Alex Ross Timeless cover.
Beautiful.
That is 9.6, which again, no pressing or anything, so I'm happy with that.
That one does look good on the PSA label.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, the red really pops.
Yeah, and this, and if you haven't held one or anything yet, Gary, next time I see you, if you haven't yet, I'll bring one. This is heavy.
It looks heavy.
This is thick. You could brain somebody with this. I was surprised, and I'd heard that it was heavier, but like when you actually feel it, like it's it's equivalent to holding a stack of multiple CGC books in your hand.
What's the price difference between that and the CGC one to have graded?
The price of PSA is a little bit more. I don't remember the exact price. It's a little bit more than CGC, but since they are just starting out, they were running some kind of promotion, and I don't know if it's still going. They were running some kind of promotion, so it ended up being a little cheaper just because of that. But they also had something where Manu said you have they have their newsletter, and you sign up for that, and they'll send you the emails, and there's always going to be coupons or specials and stuff that they're running in there, so it'll equal out. And my point in the interview I said is, don't you think that you would have the price point set lower when you're just starting out? And he made a good point to say, they're not going to devalue their product. They're, thinking, all right, this is our quality level. This is, what it should be. So why are we going to sell it for less? And I was like, all right, I get that. That's a valid point.
Like Uncle Gary said, comic books make you strong.
That's right, Dave. That's right.
You lift a stack of these, and you will definitely get strong.
There you go.
All right, that's cool. You'll have to let us know how that what you get when that comes back. It should be probably about a month. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure, like it said, they're going to be running specials and stuff probably for a while to entice people for it. And like Manu said too, if they end up, doing good, that's good for us, because CGC has, let's face it, they have been less than accountable recently with some of the stuff that's been going on there. So if there's, somebody that can really hold their feet to the fire and make them be more accountable for having better quality control, that's good for all of us.
Well, some of those blue label, some of those books, you drop those holders and they chip and everything else. So maybe these are more sturdy.
Oh, these are definitely more sturdy. And the other one I got is the Batman 101, the 1 in 25 Jorge Jimenez cover, the variant. And I picked that because I had it kind of set to the side of stuff I'd like to get graded. And I said, you know what? If there's a book that's going to look good with getting graded with that red label, it's going to be.
That's it. I agree.
So, how did you get 2 books that look great with that label? Like, you just somehow you're smart with your submissions there. It was great.
Well, yeah, the red pops.
Yeah. Well, I have a box of books kind of set to the side of stuff that I would like to get graded at some point. I don't really like getting stuff. I don't really like getting paying to get stuff graded, because I look at it like the money I'm spending to get this graded, I could be using to buy another comic.
Absolutely.
So I did this for the PSA thing because it had just started, and I kind of wanted to see what the whole process was, see what the quality of it was, the case, and and all that. So I went through the box and I said, let me pick out ones that'll look good with this. And I knew, and this was the one that I knew, all red cover with this.
Yeah.
And something Manu pointed out too when we talked to him, which I thought was cool and I hadn't thought about and I haven't checked these ones yet, so I got to check it on there. They don't call it a census. I think it's called a registry or something. If you're sending stuff into them, since they're just starting out grading, depending on what you're sending, you could have the first book of whatever it is that they grade. So, if nobody else thought to send this in, I got to check to see. This could be the first one on their registry that's graded, which, if you're a big nerd like I am, I say, hey, this is the first Batman 101 grifter variant that they ever graded. I think that's kind of a cool little thing. And one thing I didn't even notice until after, because I did an unboxing video for it, and I didn't mention it because I didn't notice it. The way they have the cases is they lock together.
Yeah.
When you stack them up, which is cool. So you can have a stack of them and see it's not moving. So putting them in for storage or setting them on top of each other and not having to worry about them slide around, I thought that was a nice touch.
Real smart.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, first submission for him, got him back in a month. And one thing that I did like too is, when you send and even you probably won't be able to tell real well in here, but even the bags that the books come in, are much thicker, heavier duty than the stuff that CGC does. But one thing is, when you send stuff to CGC, they mark it when they, it just sits there for a while until they mark it as received. And as soon as they mark it as received, that's when they charge your card for it. PSA, they'll mark it as received, but they don't charge your card for the service until they actually start grading the book. So I kind of like that they're not charging you for the service until they are actually doing the service. Yeah, I might have to email them. That would be pretty cool. See me with a wall of PSA grade. I don't really buy too many graded books because just the graded books are generally more expensive. So I'd rather just have the book and I'm fine getting it ungraded, unless it's like that Wonder Man one where I just happened to get such a great deal, which thanks to Gary, I was able to.
My pleasure.
Yeah. They're in those thick plastic bags when they send them back. So they also come back with a seal around. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's right. They are in the bag and the bag is taped shut. Then you open the bag up and take it out, and then there's the plastic you have to take off from around it. And then I also got a stack of back issues. I'm not going to show all of them off because it's a big stack, so I'll show some this week, some next week. I stopped by Time Warp Comics on the way down to do my fantasy football draft. As people on here know, I talk about them a lot. It's a fantastic shop that's in Hughesville, Maryland, in the Bargain Barns there. They don't sell new books. It's all back issues, but he's got dozens and dozens of boxes of dollar books, and he's got other boxes that are like, $5 a book or 3 for $12, and some that are prices marked. But when you buy a bunch of stuff, he always gives you a deal. He's a good guy. I did the on the spot there 2 years ago. And the guy that runs it, Keith, super cool guy, always fun to talk to. So whenever I go down there, I stop by and I'm always able to find something. And today I get a couple books. I get a stack of 15 or so dollar books, and I get 3 of the $5 books. It's 3 for $12, and I go to pay, and he's like, "All right, that'll be 22." I went, "No, dude, did you see those are the 3 for $12?" He's like, "Oh yeah, Labor Day sale, everything's 25% off." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm going to go pick up a whole bunch of more stuff then." So, the prices on these, it was a little bit less because of the sale. Was it great exclusive variants? Yeah, I just, with getting these books now in the collection, I now have 20 graded books in my collection, which was, my goal to have about that. So I'm fine with that. I don't, if I come across more, cool. If not, whatever. Oh, and I forgot to say last week too, with the new issues that I bought last week, I am now officially over 16,000 books in the collection.
Very nice.
Well, I am only 44,000 or so away from catching Gary.
You're almost there.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. So, I said it before, I'm working on.
You're 16 now. You'll be 60,000 this next year.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as I win that lottery. So I'm working on, like Derek's working on a complete run of X-Men. I'm working on a complete run of Avengers. So I got a couple for that. Got Avengers 90.
Like that cover, always have.
Yeah. And 199.
Oh, there you go.
And King Size Annual number 8. And the thing that's tricky on some of these annuals, like it is for Avengers, the first couple annuals don't say annual on it. It says like King Size Special.
It does, yeah.
So, I didn't realize until I was looking at stuff, because I thought I needed annual too. I'm like, oh, I have annual too. It just doesn't say annual. It says King Size Special.
Yep.
And then I didn't know what this was, but it clearly goes with the first volume of Avengers. I saw it in the dollar bin. So whatever this Avengers log is. But it's got this, nifty front and back cover. So I'm sure it's one of those file book type books that Marvel used to like putting out. I'm also working on, it didn't run, but, a few issues. But Marvel Presents, I got issue 10 and issue 12, which I think was the last issue of the series. You correct me if I'm wrong, Gary, but I think it only
I think so. Yeah.
Issues. And
the great Guardians stories, yeah.
Yeah, and the first 2 or 3 were Ulysses Bloodstone. The first one was the first Ulysses Bloodstone, and then he had 2 and 3, and I think it's issue 4 that the Guardians took over, and it was
I believe so. Yeah.
And then that was their solo book until they, later on got the one Jim Valentino launched. This was the last issue I needed of Blue Beetle to complete that run. So issue
very
30.
nice.
So I now have the complete run of Blue Beetle. And then I know Gary will appreciate these. He already has the complete run of it, but I'm working on mine, though I'm very far away. But it is Marvel Team Up. So I got 32.
Oh, there you go. Human Torch one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I always like getting the ones that don't have Spidey in it. They're, because the majority of them do have Spider-Man, so it's always fun to get one of the Human Torch ones.
And then there's a few that don't even have the torch in it.
Yeah,
Spidey. Those are the even rarer ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the big 2 are going to be the first Mockingbird and the first Black Suit one.
Yep.
So outside of coming across great deals, those are going to be the final ones.
Yeah.
So, and of course, issue 1. And I got 33.
Ah, nice.
And 34. And 40 with, Sons of the Tiger.
Yep.
It was cool when you would see him team up with, obviously like the big eight, A-list heroes, the ones that had their own series. But it was also cool when he teamed up with people that didn't have their own series.
Yep. It's fun, Ghost Rider.
58, yeah, Ghost Rider. 60 with the Wasp, which really happy to have this because I don't know what happened to him, but I had a few issues of Marvel Team Up when I was a kid, and this is one of them. So those are the ones I'm like most eager to get back. This was another one that I had, 63 with Iron Fist fighting Steel Serpent. 72 with this awesome Byrne and Leighton cover.
Yeah, that is such a great cover.
Yeah. And 73. 85 Marvel team up with Spider-Man and Shang-Chi and the Black Widow and Nick Fury and Spider-Man and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And 98 where it's just him and the Black Widow fighting a wheelchair-bound guy with a bunch of machine guns. And then the last one I got is 99 teaming up with Machine Man. So that is it for my back issue pickups that I'll show this week. Like I said, I'll do the rest next week. Let's get everyone. There we go.
Pickups, Dan.
Thank you. Yeah, I spent more than I intended, but when I saw, I was like, oh, 25% off. Really? All right.
Yeah.
Strike while the iron's hot, baby.
Hey, especially with the Marvel team-ups, because Gary, some of those can get I don't want to say like pricey, but when you're trying to complete a run that went over 100 issues and the books are like $10 an issue, that adds up pretty fast.
The stupid White Rabbit issue is gone.
Yeah, that's the other one too. I forgot about that one.
Who cares about the White Rabbits? I mean, when I had to pay a little more for that one, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. But
yeah.
Oh well.
So I think it's been a pretty fun episode. Thank you guys for joining us. Richard, Derek, it was a lot of fun tonight.
Thanks so much for having us. This was great.
Yeah, and remember everyone, and I forgot to mention, I am remorseful now that I forgot to mention that Richard is also nominated for a CBC award.
That's right. Community, right?
What'd you say?
Was it a community award?
Blue Wrench.
Yeah,
Best fan, Blue Wrench.
But yeah, Richard is nominated, and Richard got my vote when I put my ballot in too. Well deserved. Richard does a lot. He doesn't have his own station or his own show. You could check him out here on Instagram, but he does a lot to help out the community and help everyone. So,
yeah, ace contributor, that's for sure.
Yes, thank you for agreeing to come on with us again. Like Gary said, for first time, you don't know. After that, and every other time, it's your fault.
Yeah, that's right. First time, we're at fault for anything that for any negative stuff that happens. After that, you signed up for it. Hopefully, guys will stick around. The showcase is going to be some more Brave and the Bold. Last week, I showed the first 24 issues. Today, I'm going to show you issue 100 to issue 130.
All right, and Derek, of course, check him out on Instagram, and go give him a sub on YouTube. And 2 years ago you started, right? And you're at, was it 1.2 thousand? Is that about?
I'm at 1,270 or something like that.
That's all.
That's fantastic.
Thank
That's
you.
some good growth. So you want to give people the rundown on what they can see on your channel and your Instagram again?
Yeah, mainly I do some essay form videos. I'm working on a script right now for one, and I have a video coming out next Friday about comics found in an attic. It's a part 2 of one I made earlier this year. I talk comics all the time, so they're just about what I feel about talking about that day. I make a video of it.
That's awesome.
That is fantastic. That's what we do. We just talk comics all day.
Yep.
Yeah. We like to pontificate on the 4-color ink on the printed page here.
That's exactly.
And again, check us out online, codexstation.com. links to all the socials, bios and all the team, merch shop with, knock on wood, hopefully we'll be getting some new shirts on there soon. I know I would like to have some fresh swag to hit up Baltimore with this year. And again, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Oh yeah, man! Thank you for joining us. Make sure to give us a sub. We've been doing giveaways every month. We kind of collectively dropped the ball for August, but I'm sure we're going to get something going again for September. But thank you all for joining us, and stick around.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. For the showcase.
Again, Richard's, like Roy Kent, he's here, he's there, he's every effing where.
That's right. But yeah, yep. That's right. Hang on, and
Jamie's gonna ban me now.
Never.
So yep. So yeah, hang out a little bit and watch the showcase. If you can give us a few more minutes, and I'll show you some cool Brave and the Bold covers. A lot of Paro goodness coming up.
All right, so here we go. Let's kick it off.
All right. Thanks for hanging with us as we do Uncle Gary's showcase here. We're going to do, last week we had some Brave and the Bulls. It was such a great title. I thought I'd show you some more. Last week we did issues 1 through 24, which are incredibly hard to find. These aren't as hard to find. These are really cool to collect. Brave and the Bold is such a cool series. The first 24 issues were adventure, like Viking Prince and Silent Knight and Robin Hood. After 25 to 49, they became tryout books. Justice League had tryouts. Cave Carson had tryouts. The Hawkman, reintroduced by Kubert, where he's Qatar Hall from Thanagar. Tryouts even had some strange sports stories. And then at issue 50, it started to become a team-up book. And issue 50 through 200, where the series ended, were all team-ups. Predominantly, they were Batman team-ups. And starting with issue 74, it was all Batman team-ups. So I'm going to show you today 100 through 130. And it's going to start with 100. And it has Batman and 4 famous co-stars. And when we get to 130, we'll see that logo again, which is kind of interesting. So this is just a Nick Cardy cover. So it's still beautiful. Big Cardy fan. So Brave and the Bold 100.
I think I had an old issue of Teen Titans where I had like the full body Teen Titans standing on the side and I think that's like the exact same pose Robin had on.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, I'm sure it is. They borrowed from that. Yep, absolutely. So, but yeah, 100. All right, 101. Another Nick Cardy. Brave and the Bold, Batman and Metamorpho. And the other fun thing about Brave and the Bold, it was its own continuity. Had no real continuity with the rest of the DCU at the time, which was really interesting. Bob Haney was writing a bunch of these at the time, and they called it the Haneyverse. And Jim Aparo was doing the interiors, and he was penciling it, he was inking it, and he was lettering it. He was a one-man show, so it's pretty awesome. So here's Batman and the Teen Titans.
Oh, that doesn't.
Yep, that's another.
That doesn't look good for them.
No, don't look good for them. That's another crush those defiant kids. So that's another great Nick Cardy cover.
Speedy's so disrespected in it. All they showed was his leg.
Yep, there you go. Poor Speedy. That's all he got. Yep, he got a little leg. Get a leg up, get a leg over. Batman and the Metal Men. Another Cardy. Now we're in the 20-cent goodness. And Batman and Dead Man.
Nice.
Again, really cool. Nice colors. Nick Cardy. I love the 20-cent DCs. I just love the production designs, how the books, how the books look. All right, now we're getting into some Aparo. There we go, where he was doing the interiors and the exteriors.
Wouldn't it be great if they still just cost 20 cents?
Yeah, absolutely. So Batman and Green Arrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Versus the ski pole.
The ski pole. So if you're gonna have a Green Arrow, you gotta have Black Canary coming up.
Oh, that's a cool cover.
Neat colors. Rifle pointed at bats. Yeah, he's got some work to do there. This was a really cool issue. Batman and Sergeant Rock.
Nice.
Yeah, and look at the shadow of that guy. That's not good. That's not good. So, great Batman, Sergeant Rock.
Yeah, because Rock was in 2 issues, right?
Oh, he's in more than 2.
Was it? Oh, was it more than 2?
Yeah, he had like 5 Brave and the Bold appearances.
Okay.
There's a really cool Batman and the Demon. Love that cover. Gotham Baby, my grave. This one we go back to a Nick Carty.
Oh, that's a good cover.
Batman and Wildcat, very special spy. So, and he would have interactions with the Earth 2 heroes, and they would never call it Earth 2. Great Aparo. Batman and the Joker. Stay back. Nobody lays a hand on my partner while I'm around.
I think it's always cool on these team up books like this, Marvel team up or this or 2-in-1 or the Superman one that DC presents. You have like the Batman logo or the Spider-Man or the Superman, and sometimes you'll have a recognizable logo for the co-star, and other times they're like, yeah, there's no logo for this guy. We got to come up with one.
Right, and the Joker logo that came up later that had the suits in it, the Diamond Club, Heart and Spade was really cool. I love that logo. All right, so now when we get to 112, now we're starting 100 pagers, baby.
Oh,
love these. Love the 100 pagers. My first book was JLA 111, which was 100 pagers, so I'm very nostalgic for the 100 pagers. So, and you see that Silent Night cover right there. That was one of the ones we saw last week that I had. I had in beautiful shape. I had that book in beautiful shape. So 111. God, I love this red cover. This is 113.
Oh, that does look cool.
Yeah.
Like that Batman fired, and he's just standing there like, oh.
Yeah, damn it. Metalman. Look at the Metalman. They're preening up there, cheesing. Metalmen are cheesing as they've taken over. All right. So this book, 114. I have my original copy, which was one of my very first few books. And I fell in love with Aquaman, I think, because of this book. And I love the 100 pagers, but that would have been a great full cover right there.
Yeah, that's a great one.
But this book was really cool Aquaman story in it. And this is reprinting Brave and the Bold 50, which was the first team up, which was Martian Manhunter and Green Arrow. And then it's reprinting a Teen Titans story, but just really, really cool book. 115, Batman and the Atom. Love this story. One of my favorites. When we did the Atom episode, this was one of my must reads. Oh, I think so too, Pam. They're so good. So good. I have talked Chris, Pam, into collecting Brave and the Bold 150 to 200. He had a great handful of issues, especially the ones that had the Earth 2 characters in it. But, he's decided so cool he's going to go from 150. And 150 to 200 are very doable. They're very doable. I'm sorry, 50 to 200. There's a couple pricey ones. 54 is the first Teen Titans. 60 is the second Teen Titans. Those are the ones that are a little iffy. If you get the first Metamorpho 57 in really good shape, I guess that puts you back a little. Here's another great 116. Love the yellow. And that's another what would have been a great full cover.
Yeah.
Spectre, but still very good.
I find it so interesting as you go through all these, how the Batman logo, the colors changed based on the background. And I think about how brands nowadays, it's like, this is the logo you have. You can't change the colors. It has to be this way. But you have this Batman, a couple issues, it was a yellow background with red text, and it's white background with blue text. And it's just, it's all over the place, every issue.
Look at that. And look how good it looks, though.
Yeah.
They make it work.
Yeah. Well, DC's production design was fantastic, on these books. So you're absolutely 100% right. Look how they, I love the Metalman logo with the rivets in it. But yeah, absolutely. DC's design on these was great. Here's another,
I say that's what's cool about looking at all the Justice League logos for Justice League of America was seeing, which color scheme was on it.
Right, and I think one of the ones that's our favorite is that 138, the Adam Strange one, where it's red, white, and blue.
Red, white, and blue. Superman had some really good ones too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So this is the last of the 100 pages, 117. Look at that pretty purple, But
man, the colors on that are nice.
Another great horror cover. So I'm really happy this next one was not a 100 pager, because this, for me, Brave and the Bold 118 is a top 10 all-time cover for me. And that's one.
Oh yeah, that's such a good cover.
That Batman, Wildcat, and the Joker. And I always talk, when I talk about Aparo, I always mention how the fists he draws are not fists you ever want to get hit with. And no more evident than this when they have the cestises on, Batman and Wildcat just slugging it out, and the Joker's the referee. I absolutely, like I said, this for me is a top 10 cover. But the power on this, the ferocity, just absolutely love it. I love the "May the best man win" crossed out die. So good. Oh, love it.
And they got that Joker logo you were talking about.
Yeah, they did. There's a logo with the with his face in the O, and then the suits. Batman 119. So I almost used this on our Man-Bat one, but I didn't. I wanted to get. There were others that I used, but this was always close. Again, look at these hands from Batman. You don't want those hands wrapped around your neck. But great Jim Aparo goodness. All right, so there's 120. Batman and Commandy. Love that cover.
That was a bizarre issue.
Yes, great issue. I love this issue. And what's interesting with the floating heads here, so they used the Batman Neil Adams next to
the Kirby
Commandy that they just threw there. But so cool. Commandy racing in, got a knife. He's going to cut him free. This Earth is Mine. I love that book. All right, 121. Batman and the Metal Men again.
That's cool.
And then Batman and Swamp Thing.
Oh, your boy.
Yep. And again, the colors go really well with the background on there. And 123, Batman, Plastic Man, and Metamorpho. So we're going to get all them involved in that. And another Sergeant Roxy. They also, when they like certain characters, Aparo like drawing it, or Haney liked the character you would get. So you got a lot of Deadman, you got a lot of Sergeant Rocks.
Metal Men looks like.
Metal Men. Yeah, so characters are like. So this one, that's Aparo on the cover. He was part of the story. But it's just cover Aparo. Rock,
oh, yeah, I remember that issue.
Rock kills Batman or I kill you. So Jim Aparo was in the book himself, which is so cool.
They should have given him his own logo.
Yeah. And these copies were my personal copies that I pulled off the rack. So they look pretty damn good for my young age, keeping these so good. I was like 11 or 12. 125, Batman and the Flash.
I like the purple in the background on that.
Yeah, I do too. 126 is another Batman and Aquaman.
That's a cool cover.
Yeah, look at that. And Aparo was a great Aquaman artist too. All right, 127, Batman and Wildcat. Yeah, there's another one that appeared all the time. It was Wildcat. He was a favorite. Spectre was too. He appeared quite. Mr. Miracle is another one appeared a lot.
When does Neil Adams start doing the covers? I know he's done a few for this.
Neil Adams did the earlier.
Okay.
He was doing the covers in the 70s, issues in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I'll go back and I'll pull one great Neil Adams cover for you when I get to the end. I'll show you the 93, which was fantastic. And I love this. The DC salutes the bicentennial. So I wish that had been on the whole year's worth books, but they only did it on books that were cover dated July or August. And if it was a monthly book, it would only be on the July issue. There were bi-monthly books that didn't have a July cover date and had an August cover date, and they put them on then. But yeah, so they only had them for 1 month. So those are little rarities to see. And then 129, and when they had stories that continued at some point, September, October, September. It was, you had to wait a whole month, and you're like, oh man, I got to wait a month for this for me to get the conclusion. But usually the Brave and the Bold books were one. They were one shots, single issue standalones. But every now and then, like this one, and here's where we end. 4 famous co-stars. We started with 4 famous co-stars. We end that way. So, and look, 2 of the co-stars are bad, very bad. So that was great. So another part of goodness, and I'll show you that bonus Neil Adams that is so good.
Yeah, that one's a
That's
classic there.
Yeah, Batman. And this cover right here is an homage cover to House of Mystery 174 with the door opening. And then when we did our Super Sons episode, there was an homage again with this door and with the person beckoning. One of the issues of Super Sons had that doorway.
I think my favorite Adams one, this is obviously up there, but it's where Batman is like being attacked by a knight in armor, and he's like in a swamp, like trying to pull himself out of the water.
That's a detect. That's a
Oh, is it a detective?
It's either a Batman or a detective, but I know what you're talking about. Got a green background.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. So that's either it's either a bat or a detective.
Sorry, you'll find it.
Like I said, it's not a Brave and the Bold, but it's a Batman or detective, and it is fantastic. It's either a detective between, maybe it's Detective 411 or something like that. It's a early.
Here it is, Detective Comics number. Oh, where is it? 412.
412. How good is that?
That's pretty good.
One freaking issue off. Yeah.
You don't know anything, do you?
There you go. I couldn't come through and get it right. God damn it. So, but so close. Yeah. But I love that cover. But I knew what cover you're talking about immediately.
Yeah.
But these are great, fun issues, and like I said, if you're a Batman fan, these are, I think, very easily collectible. You can get them in pretty decent shape for not a whole lot. For sure, 100 up is really easy and good to collect, and just great books and great stories. And like I said, usually standalone stories, and they don't necessarily connect to the rest of the DC universe. So that's kind of great. So there you go. Showcase, Brave and the Bold. The 2 titles, I have many complete runs. The 2 titles I'm the most proud to have all over, Brave and the Bold Showcase. So there you go.
all right. Well, thank you. Thank you for another great showcase. Again, thank you to Richard. Thank you to Derek for joining us tonight. It was a blast having you guys on. Definitely going to have you guys back again soon.
Absolutely.
Thanks to everyone for sticking around and hanging with us on the Saturday night. We are going to call it quits for the night / the morning, early morning. So we will catch you all again later.